Alright, gang, that was Beyond Visible right there with the title track of their brand new album, Creating Change, available now on iTunes. Go and get yourself a copy of it. And joining me right now on the phone is D. Nugent and Tom McNamara of Beyond Visible. What's going on, guys?
How you doing? Good to be here. How are you, dude?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Hasn't been too long since I saw you guys. We got to catch up at the Rock Against Dystrophy back at the end of July. And I want to thank you guys again for being a part of that.
It was my pleasure. That was a really cool show. We had a fun night, and that was a cool venue. I'd never been there before.
Yeah, it is a really nice venue. I actually got it from a friend of mine, the guy Woody, helped me put it together, and he actually lived not far from here. He said, come check it out. And as soon as I got there, I fell in love with the place. Where else can you go, really, to get good music, good food, and alcohol all in one place?
Yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely.
Definitely. So, why don't we start things at the beginning? Because I've been playing you guys for a long time now, since we first met, about a year ago, I think it was. And let's start at the beginning for the first-time listeners, maybe the first time people are being introduced to Beyond Visible. Tell everyone a little bit about Beyond Visible and what you guys are and kind of how you came to be.
Well, basically, we had started a while back, me and Rob, the drummer, and another guitar player, and we've been playing for years and years. I mean, even as kids. And eventually we brought in, Brian came in and played bass for us, and we had kind of gone through a bunch of singers and stuff for years, and we actually disbanded for a while back. And then, I don't know, we started maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago with Dean and Scott, and just been playing a lot. We played like a bunch of shows and stuff. We've been together a long time, and different lineups. But as this current lineup, we've been together about a year and a half, 2 years.
Very cool. I mean, I heard you guys, I think it was a year ago at, I'm trying to remember where, I know it was either Hate to Hate, or it was Tim Martinez's birthday party. I forget exactly when I first was introduced to you guys, but I remember seeing it and kind of having one of those moments of, where have you guys been, and why was it the first time I was hearing you guys?
Yeah, I think it was definitely Tim's, pretty sure Tim's birthday at Tammany Hall was the first time.
Yes, I believe that's when it was. And like I said, I saw you guys, and you guys really blew me away that night. I remember hounding you guys, like, you guys have music yet, and there were a couple of tracks up on Reverb Nation, so I started getting those out there, and here we are a year later. You guys have a full-length album called, I want to make sure I get it right, I have it in front of me, Creating Change. And how long have you guys been working on that album?
So, like Tom said, like I guess it was October, it was like a year and a half ago, it was in October that we got together. And they pretty much had the music for the 3 songs, which was the 3 songs that you originally saw in Reverb Nation. Those were basically like my tryout songs. And those went up as a 3-song demo. And then, you know, we started playing shows and writing and everything, and we came up with, I mean, it was gonna say, I'd say with pieces and stuff, it was close to almost 20 songs total. But we cut out a lot of songs. When it was time to go do the record, we basically cut out songs and came into the producer with, I think it was like 14 songs. Yeah, I think we had 16, and we cut out 2 when we got there, basically, and then we played 14 for him, and then he chose 2 more to cut out. And we just basically did 12. You know, I mean, that's why, at least I think in our opinion, like, the 12 songs are all really solid tracks. I don't think there's any filler tracks. I think we actually had a lot of discussion and problems over figuring out what would be the singles and such, So yeah, it's basically a year and a half and a lot of scrap songs to come up with the 12 songs that became the CD.
Very cool. Now, I'm looking at what I have. Now, I'm wondering, is there a different version of what I got off of iTunes? Because I'm looking at an 11-track album on iTunes.
What happened was we signed on with THD Records, which is through Fontana and In Grooves, is basically a subsidiary of Universal, and they had to get the 12th track is "Army of Me," Bjork cover song, and they had to get licensing for it, for us to be able to use it and release it, and so in the U.S. you can purchase you can basically buy the 11 tracks, and "Army of Me" is listed as a separate single on iTunes. But in the UK and other countries, like you can't get all 12 tracks. It's just an 11-track CD. So that was the reason that the 12th track is separate. It was basically for purposes of licensing, getting it to be legalized through Bjork and all that.
Right, no, very understandable, especially with the way the music industry is nowadays, making sure that every angle is covered. No one wants to put something out and then end up in months of legal litigation over something that would have been a simple fix. So that is available as a single here in the U.S., but not for those in the UK.
Yeah, and basically only in the U.S. Everywhere else that it's been released, you can't get that track. If we get a large enough buzz in other countries, I'm sure that the label will pay for licensing to distribute it there as well. But right now, it's just in the U.S. and it came out yesterday. The Army of Me single.
Gotcha. I'll have to jump onto iTunes and make sure I get myself a copy of it, so I have everything from you guys. I ran to get Ashtray when it came out, and I want to apologize to you guys now. Dean, I apologize to you at RAT. For the longest time when that single came out, I kept calling it Ashtray instead of Ashtray, and I want to apologize for butchering the title of it on you guys.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Actually, you weren't the only person. Yeah, there was a few people that had that misconception. They pronounced it Ashtray, but it's fine.
Yeah, I know, Dean. You had said to me at RAD that you guys were actually debating on whether or not just to call it Ashtray, since everyone's been calling it that.
Yeah, it became like an inside joke thing because so many people had said that to me. So.
Yeah, I apologize. I butchered it. And why don't you tell everyone a little bit about that one and how you guys decided on making Ashtray the single for the album?
I think that Ashtray was chosen because, like I said, we had a lot of difficulty choosing what song. I think that we chose Ashtray for, there's probably a couple of reasons. I know that our producer had mentioned at one point that he thought that would be good for the single. I think also it was one of the newer tracks. I think we were overall pretty excited about it, especially that we just finished, and it kind of incorporates everything that we do in one track. I mean, it has good harmonies, singing and stuff, but there's also really good heavy parts, and there's a solo in it. So I think that was it was kind of a good dynamic to kind of preview what could be on the record,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really what it needs to be nowadays, is to make sure you have a good idea of what you're going to get when you release the single prior to the entire album. And I've been listening to the album almost every other day, just trying to get a better vibe for it and really hear what you guys are all about, since I only saw you guys the one or two times, and I keep missing live shows. And I gotta say, from beginning to end, it's a really solid album. There really aren't any songs on there that give you that feeling of, well, maybe this one doesn't fit, or the order doesn't fit. It really seems like when you guys sat down and put this together, you knew exactly how you wanted the album to sound and what order everything should be in. Was that the case when you guys put it together? Did everything kind of go where you wanted it to go?
I would say definitely, the writing process and the recording process went pretty smooth. It was, if anything, we had like an abundance of ideas. There was never any lack of writing songs and coming up with new songs, things like that. I think the question about the order of how the CD was going to go, that was probably a little more confusing because, like I said, there's so many. Usually you want to make a CD have really strong lead-off tracks so people continue to listen on, but you don't obviously want to leave, what people consider the lesser tracks at the end. And we really did feel that we had 12 tracks that were strong, so it was more a matter of if we wanted to come out, with heavier tracks in the beginning and softer tracks. It was just kind of that was a little more confusing, if anything, than the writing and the recording. I think that stuff went really smooth.
Now, you say the writing went really smooth. And does that mean you kind of, what do you guys do in the writing process? Is it a group effort? Is it one or two of you guys sitting down doing it? Because I know some bands say, well, the writing was difficult and that was the hard part. But for you guys to say that was the smooth part aspect of it, I'm curious as to why you felt that it went so smooth on the writing end.
Well, I guess the writing process for us is similar to a lot of bands, in the sense where, one or two of us will come in with a pretty solid idea for a song and present it to the group. For the most part, we'll kind of hash it out in the studio and work it out as a band. So I think we had doing that as a band. So I think we came out with a bunch of tunes that we could really believe in. So,
Yeah, no, that's a key point of really any good album is that you guys believe in it. I've heard all too often over the years, bands put out albums and then 5 or 6 years down the line someone comes out and says, well, we really didn't want to go in that direction, but one member forced the issue, and the album ends up kind of being a resentment issue. And I think you guys are kind of coming out of the gate strong with the full album here.
Yeah, I think all of us are kind of the same mindset. If it's a good song, it's a good song. I don't think we really get caught up in what we should sound like or what we're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, you guys definitely know what your identity is, and you can hear that on the album. And one of the things I was wondering is, I know you guys put out those 3 songs on Reverb Nation, kind of as an EP demo deal. Were you guys at any point debating maybe doing a 4-song, a 3-4-song EP, and then doing a full album to kind of test things? Or was the idea from the beginning to just go in, bang out a full EP, and then ride the wave that comes with it?
I think the big thing was that, like I said, the writing was, we had difficulty cutting down almost 20 songs into what we had as 12. So for us to do an EP, we had talked about it in the beginning. It was like we did the 3-song demo, and it was like we were constantly talking about going back in the studio and doing 2 or 3 more songs and just putting that out as an EP. But as time continued to pass, we had all those shows. Like, we never really got an opportunity to get into the studio. And I don't think we were 100% sure where we wanted to record it either, which I think was part of it. Like, I don't know if we wanted to go spend, I think we spent almost $1,000 on that 3-song demo. I don't know if we were ready to go spend another $1,000 on another 3-song demo rather than just, really find the producer we wanted to, and do everything in one shot for a record. So I think that was, by the time we had a chance to get back in the studio, we just had so much written that there was no way we were going to do an EP, Especially when you're doing songs, it's like, by the time a lot of these songs reach
like creating change by the time it reached everybody, it's like some of these songs have started to become almost old for us, you know? Like the last few songs we wrote in the studio almost, there was like 3 or 4 songs that were just like finished up in the studio, and really we heard them recorded for the first time, and that, you know, we really had to go home with the recording and almost learn the songs from what we had recorded. So those are like the more exciting ones. It almost, the older stuff starts to get old for us, even though it's new for everybody else, you know. So we were really more excited about all those newer songs. So it was hard to discard everybody's favorite songs, though, like The Crown and Games and Everybody Wanted Your Army and Me, and, you know, you can't cut those out because those are the only songs people really know of us at this point. So.
Well, now you say that those are the ones that people know of you, for those that have seen you live here in the New York, New Jersey area. How is the vibe been with some of the newer songs that you've played live?
I mean, it seems like the reaction from everybody is they love the new stuff. I mean, I know Ashtray I don't think I had one person come to me and say they didn't like it. I mean, I've definitely played demo tracks and things like that to people and, you know, gotten their constructive criticism or even saying that they don't like a song, but with Ashtray, I literally don't think I got anybody. Did you get anybody? Yeah, so I mean, it seems like the newer stuff. I feel like, and I think that it probably feels like, if anything, we're growing a lot. Like it is starting to become. And Mike Watts helped a lot too. I have to say, like he was really good in the studio at helping, especially. I don't really think like our guitar players and stuff. You know, musically, I don't think we needed a ton of help, but like vocally, he was huge for me. I mean, the first guy that we had worked with, just kind of, you know, he just kind of did what he had to do to get it finished. But Mike would push me to do more and stuff that maybe wasn't as comfortable for me. You know.
Yeah, no, I gotta admit, your vocals on the album, none of it feels like you're forcing anything, and none of it feels like it's out of your range. Like it's a very comfortable style that you found yourself in.
Yeah, and thank you. I appreciate that. I think a lot of that was him, and I think a lot of it too is that we took our time with it. That was kind of a big thing too. You know, we went in there. We basically lived there for 3 or 4 weeks, and really had time to do it. It wasn't like when we did our demo and we had a day or two to be there, and it's basically being in and out. You know, it's totally different. I mean, that was, you know, we had, what was it? How many hours? It was like 6 hours, like a day, 2 days to do the demo. Like, we basically had like 12 hours or something to do a 3-song demo, and we had almost a month to do 12 songs. You know, so it obviously translates on the recording.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can hear that there's, you know, this was not a rushed album, that you guys definitely took the time to put into it as much of yourselves as you could without, you know, having to rush it or force anything that wouldn't sound natural or wouldn't sound right in a live setting. A lot of bands nowadays do stuff on an album and you go to see them live and it's totally different. Whereas you guys, I don't see that happening.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Very welcome, dude. So now, what is the next step for you guys? I know the days of doing music videos aren't what they used to be when, you know, everyone wanted to get on MTV and VH1, but is there any talk of doing a YouTube video for any of these songs?
I think a lot of that is kind of basically what kind of happened was our label is trying to figure out what the next steps are. We had initially signed with Liquid Sky Records, and then, you know, as you know, the record came out through the label that I had previously mentioned, THC, In Grooves, Fontana, because it seems like they're going to basically kind of merge, work together type situation. So right now they're trying to, you know, get together what exactly their plan is with each other, how they're going to merge, and then I guess in turn we'll find out what we're going to get from there. I know our personal goals are, you know, next would be probably tour of some sorts.
Sort of music video.
And a video. I don't know if it'll be. I know we have I think we have a lyric video up for Ashtray, but we really want to do an actual music video. So I'm sure those are probably the two prime next things. Go out and tour to support the record, and put up a music video to also support the record. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, that's something that we should all look forward to, and especially here in the New York, New Jersey area. I know you guys stay very active here, and I feel bad I can't always get out to the shows you guys are at, but I do what I can to get the word out for you guys. And do you guys have any shows coming up that we should let everyone know about?
Yeah, we have a couple. We're definitely playing 2 shows with iEmpire. We're playing at Club Revolution on, I believe it's Sunday, September 29th in Amityville. And then we're playing on Wednesday, October 2nd at Dingbats with iEmpire in Clifton, New Jersey. I believe Sharetta is actually on that Amityville show as well with us and iEmpire. They actually did their record with Mike Watts as well. And then I know we're also working on, we're going to be doing a date at the Saint in Asbury Park with New Theory, which we don't have a firm date on it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be in October at some point. Anything else they can check out, they can go to theinvisible.net or Reverb Nation or Facebook, and all our dates are up there.
Oh, very cool, dude. Very cool. And are you guys Twitter active? Because I know everyone, that seems to be the thing now. If you're not Twitter active, people kind of well, what aren't they? And are you guys on Twitter as the band, as individuals? Where are you guys at other than beyondvisible.net and Facebook?
We are on, we have Twitter. I don't ever really control it, but the other members do. And I know that I've seen a lot of fans and friends post pictures and stuff of us on Twitter, which is cool. And then we are on MySpace. I don't know if that matters. But, we are on Dead Space. And we have, Reverb Nation, like I said, Facebook. Those are the big ones. Reverb Nation's been great. That program's awesome, the way it pushes out show reminders and does email lists and everything. Between that and Facebook, it seems like those are the 2 prime ones. And obviously our official page, beyondvisible.net. And, all the different, there's so many people on the scene that take pictures and promote on their pages that it's awesome,
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, everyone kind of working together to get the word out about you guys and about everybody in the scene. That's really what keeps everyone going and gets everyone to grow out of this area. And,
yeah, absolutely. It's like a big community, a big family,
Exactly. That's what we love about it. Dean, Tom, thank you guys for joining me here tonight on the Asylum. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to join me. The album, I'm forgetting the name of the album, but I know it so well. Create and Change. Love the album. I've been listening to it daily. It's hard to remember the name of the album when all the songs are just in my head. I'm telling you, I end up remembering the songs and not the name of the album. But I guess
that's good.
Yeah.
All the songs in your head.
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing. Better than just remembering the album.
We literally had that discussion today. I said, "What's your favorite 1 or 2 songs?" And he sent us a list of 1, 2, and 3, and each one had 1 or 2 songs listed in it. So basically, he named half of the records. I'm like, I meant 1 or 2 songs.
That's great.
If every song's in your head, then thank you so much. We appreciate that. We're glad you liked it.
All right, you're welcome. Like I said, you guys blew me away the first time I saw you guys, and I was glad to hear that you guys finally got a full-length album out there. And I want everyone to make sure they go check out Creating Change from Beyond Visible. It is available on iTunes. I gotta go old school for a second with you guys. Are there any physical copies being made available to the public, or is it just via iTunes?
Yeah, I know that that's in the works. The label just asked us for like our thank yous and everything, so they're at the final stages of pressing everything. So we'll probably have those at shows, I would say, within the next month or so.
Okay, very cool. So, for those of you out there that are old fogies like me that prefer the physical version, it's coming soon. Until then, get your ass onto iTunes. Get the album Creating Change from Beyond Visible. It is on iTunes. It is very worth the money. Tom, Dean, thank you guys again for joining me tonight here inside the Asylum. Before we head, or I let you guys head out, give me another track from the album you guys think I should play.
I think you should play Burn, Playing the Fire, because that will at some point be one of the singles.
Awesome. Alright, gang, right now we got Beyond Visible with Burn, Playing with Fire, from their brand new album, Creating Change. Check it out. I'll be back on the other side with more tunes. Stay tuned. Beyond Visible, Burn, Playing with Fire, right now inside the Asylum.